Hi, it's Wednesday. I just thought I'd come on. I had some different thoughts today. It's June 22nd, 2022. Um man, so I don't even know where to begin. I had so much on my mind. Well, my new gig is really interesting. Getting through the, you know, just all the nuance of picking up a job, you know? Gotta learn how to communicate effectively with everyone, and um, I think I'm I think I'm doing well. And it's a somewhat menial job, but I mean, there's important things to remember, and just keeping the clients happy. And luckily, I sometimes I'm a poor navigator, but I can usually correct. And that's probably the hardest part of my job is, like, I have to go visit anywhere between 10 and 20 houses a day maybe, and, um, I can usually finish in, like, 5 hours or so on average, but I'm still not up to the level of, like, the full-timers where they might be doing 30 houses in a day, but basically, it's challenging. I'm physically tired at the end of the day and mentally exhausted as well. So I've been noticing that I'm a little bit more snippy with everybody when I get home. And just trying to, get into this new routine. So uh, I wake up, my first alarm goes off at 6, and then I classically, beat my alarm 100 times before I actually get up. But I've been hitting the road about 7 o'clock every morning, and so I'm getting down early, which is helpful because it's been getting extremely hot um, in the daytime here, getting into the 90s. So trying to get acclimated to the heat, working out in the sun, and it's been really fun so far. I've been exploring some really cool different places, and it's just it's just fascinating to me, like how cool it is to get outside into all these different places, and to be able to navigate uh, parts of my own neighborhood that I'm not familiar with. That's cool. And the GPS, you got to be careful. You got to look at the map, and you got to know where you are. And a lot of times you can save yourself a lot of miles and trouble if you reroute the dumb GPS, or just flip a U-turn or turn left and then, you know, go in the opposite direction you were headed, because sometimes they want you to turn left onto crazy busy streets or whatever. So the GPS, I'm I'm working with that, but it gets annoying because it sends you in the wrong direction. So if you've ever done one of those jobs like delivering food or driving for Uber or Lyft or something, that's the hardest part about those jobs for sure. Um, so I think I've been hanging in there, doing well. It feels really good to get a paycheck again after so many months. Um, just something different about getting money you work really hard for. It feels good. And I appreciate it. And I told myself I was going to get a job before my birthday, and I did that. And I didn't really have to settle. I got to pick all of the requirements that I wanted, and I applied for one gig, and I got that one gig. So I'm really grateful. I I, don't wanna live in this doom mindset. And I heard something, twice, 2 different people said this week, "You wanna have an open mind, but you don't want your brain to fall out." So, I think I'm struggling with this, um, when I'm feeling really good, then I feel like I wanna take on everything, and then, of course, I get burned out, and then it's like, you can't take on everything all at once, you have to do it in chunks, and, you can't understand everything, but I really appreciate the people that are out there doing the work, that are trying to put things together, and they're trying to ask questions. They're not so much saying, "This is exactly how it is," but their presentations lay things out in terms of patterns that you can see yourself, and that's when you know that I think you're in the company of, like, true humans that are in that intellectual space, but they maintain some kind of spirituality, if you will, like, not the, um not the quick, easy way to spirituality, um, not the organized religion version that you suffer through as a child and it's pounded into you and you're told this is true. It's more like offering all of the different ingredients, showing someone how they might be assembled, and then letting everyone pick and choose, their own version, like the salad bar, like the buffet. In our house growing up, my mom would cook home cooked meals fairly regularly, but then we also had some junk food. And I just got into the space where, like, I would I would always experiment with my own cooking, and I would like it because I could always put pepper and salt and hot sauce on it. And so I'm not that picky. I'll pretty much eat anything, and a lot of times I'll forget to eat. So then I'm really hungry and ravenous and I'll just eat whatever is around. But you know, a lot of times now I just appreciate the idea of foraging in my own garden. Like, I'm not even harvesting a bunch of vegetables because I'm not growing a big, productive row garden. Um, I sort of have an edible landscape that I'm working on. And so usually I'll just go out and once or twice a day, I'll go and pick peas right off the vine right now. They're not even getting uh, very well developed because it got so hot so fast here. So I'm just appreciating what I can eat when it's right there, when it's the best, when it's right off of the tree. So even though the birds got almost all of my service berries, I'm okay with that. I got a few, and uh, I think it's important to share. I think that we in our family were really fortunate. Like, I went out yesterday and I sat in between this little space between the yarrow and the German chamomile, which is trying to take over. So I'm planting all of these very vigorous herbs that take over spaces, fill in big gaps in our crummy soil, and then they begin to shade everything. And then it retains the water. And um, I have so many different types of bees in the garden this year. It's really good to see. Um, it just makes me so happy because I'm noticing different sizes and shapes and colors of insects I've never remembered seeing all of them together at once like this before. So it's really encouraging that we're slowly but surely building up the landscape to something that's ever changing, somewhat of a pain at times to manage, but yeah, it's coming together very well. And I have some baby trees all over the front yard that are going to need some maintenance over the years, but even now they're starting to fill out, and it just makes me feel great. And I just feel so fortunate, because it's weird. Like I listen to a lot of different content, and I listen to a number of different prepper channels, and it's funny because I mean, even the preppers like are at odds with each other. Um, one prepper was calling out other preppers because they're too doom oriented. But what I've realized is it does take all kinds. I mean, we all are trying to find community somewhere, and that's the hook they've got us with, um being married to being online, you know? And it's so hard to divorce because it's a part of every single thing. And, I'm trying to listen to all these different people for their perspectives because they're in different places. Literally, they have different backgrounds, different educations, different ethnicities, cultures, race, um, age, uh, it's they're all over the country. I'm expanding my collection of YouTubers that I watch, that it's becoming a little more international because thankfully the world speaks English. So I have access to perspectives and voices from Italy, Ireland, Australia, etc. I mean, yeah, they're mostly like westernized countries, I guess. I don't even know. But still, it's really cool because there's a lot of people out there. But what I'm hearing from everyone, um, is talking about their channels uh, getting shadow banned, viewership going down. So lots of people are making secondary channels. Some people are on their third channel, their eighth channel. Some people have to do a live stream and then immediately delete it because otherwise they'll get some kind of hit on their channel and their whole channel will get taken down or they'll get frozen out of it. Um, People are looking for alternatives to YouTube, and there's just not right now. And the latest thing that's going on is you can now tag people. When I'm making a video, I can auto tag like other creators. And I wonder, like, what's the nefarious purpose for that? Is that so they can track me and track all these other creators and then collectively just shut us all down because they can tell who we're networking with? And, you know, my head's just exploding 10 times a day because there's just too much crazy shit happening to keep up with. Um, One of the channels I've spoken of before is May Brussel Project. And I don't know the name of the person who's running that channel, but they comment on some other live streams that I watch. And so they're engaged with this relatively small YouTube community that I'm getting in with, just from admiring them and trying to participate in the chats and get to know these people. And it's weird getting to know people in a live chat, and it reminds me a lot of when I was like 13, 14, and, I was hanging out on the early chat room space called The Globe, and, uh, that was probably the worst thing my parents could have ever let me do, but they didn't know really what I was up to. But, eventually they found out because I started making long distance phone calls to people. They were like, "What? This costs so much money. What are you doing?" So, yeah, long distance phone call charges, was no joke, and I really pissed my parents off with that. But, yeah, it's interesting because, I just wonder so much, and I think, there's so many scary things with raising children anyway, um, especially just the fact that they're clumsy, they're little, they don't know what's going on, they don't know that that heavy thing can get pulled down on top of them and kill them. I feel like there's kids out there that are worse than others, ones that are really just, it's like they're always trying to find a way to, like, harm themselves. And I watch my nephews, and they're almost 3, and holy moly, like, they are just, always falling, always running into stuff, always getting into things, and, so it's just so interesting to raise kids and to really watch them and to really let them be a little bit wild because, I mean, they don't learn right away, but eventually they do. There's some kids that are just crazy, like the skateboarders. I hope my kids don't get into skateboarding or these super dangerous sports. But there's so many other things. Um, so it's like impossible to keep up. And I'm just doing my best and I'm trying not to get too down about it. But, I do wanna keep paying attention. I don't want my, you know, head to explode all the time. I wanna have an open mind and not have my brain fall out. But, yeah, there's just so much in the world that is crazy. And for me, just the flip that I've made, it still surprises me sometimes that, like, things that I used to be all about, um, I'm just like, ew. God, it repulses me now. So, yeah, I'm trying to negotiate all of these thoughts. So, I wanted to come on tonight and just talk a little bit about this because the shadow banning or whatever you want to call it, you can call it censorship. I have a feeling that it's more like they don't want those things that can't possibly make them money to take up the bandwidth. It's not so much about like they're censoring truth. I'm sure they're censoring a lot of nonsense, frankly. But I feel like what the nuts and bolts of it is like you can only have so many cars on the toll road go through at once. And so they'll meter everybody that's still paying with quarters. I don't even know if they even take quarters at toll booths anymore because I don't live on the East Coast and they're not very common where out west. But yeah, it's like your fast pass or you're waiting in the long line for the toll booth operator to actually take your money or to throw it in the bin, whatever. however the toll booths work now. I'm sure they're all electronic now, but yeah, it's like if you're gonna sponsor content, um, that's what's gonna reach eyes. It's in the YT's own self-interest to not spend as much server space on people like me. Yay, I have 18 subscribers. I got a new random subscriber this week. It made my day. It was awesome. And I'm really grateful for just someone randomly finding my video and commenting. That's beautiful. But yeah, it's not going to make anybody's recommendation unless they're already watching my channel every day. And I don't pay for subscription to YT, so I get a ton of ads. And on the channels I like that are monetized, sometimes I'll let the ads play through for a little bit. Maybe that gets them more money. I don't know. But today I was working and trying to listen to a heavily monetized video, and I was going crazy because the fucking ads are insane. The noises that they play, I get a bunch of Angry Birds ads because my kids watch YouTube from my account sometimes. And holy crap, I get the most annoying meh, meh, meh noises from these stupid kids ads. It's so messed up. So, yeah, I'd love to have our household just shut everything off, but then literally we would go crazy because, you know, we're so attached to our shows, our programs, our access. So, I don't know. I don't even know. There's so much to talk about. I really could go on. I think what I'm going to do though is um try and keep these under 30 minutes and try and do them every day because there's just so much happening that I want to keep uh, a good record of it. Um, so I'm not trying to spill the beans on every detail of my life or the news or anything like that. But again, um, this channel, um, these videos, they really are for me. They are for my family. They are for my would-be friends and my allies. And, you know, um, I'm just really grateful that despite the horrors that happen in this world, the violence, just the obscenities, the things that are done to us, done to the ones we love, um, there's still room in our hearts for laughter, for love. So I'm very much clinging to that, and I'm very, very happy. So thank you again for being with me through this. Thought I would end it there, but you know, the thing is, there's a lot of people out there that want to shine light on the truth, and they scream and yell, and they try and make you afraid. So I always want to remember that tone of voice where, you know, I'm still expressing my sincerity, my love, my compassion. you can really change everything with your own tone, with your own reaction. So I need to keep that from me. I need to remember how I can escalate a situation or how I can de-escalate it. How I can put myself into that position where I understand what that person may be going through. So I think that's the best thing that we can do. Um, oh, random side note, really cool. I was out in the front the other day and I heard a jingling of like a collar from an animal running towards my way down the street. And my next door neighbor has a rolling gate and it was open. So this dog ran up into the next door neighbor's yard. And I had to leave my fenced in front yard and walk down the street to visit this animal, see if I could find his family. And then the dog bolts across the street and he's in that neighbor's driveway. And he's behind the house. So I'm in the middle of the road and there's this truck driving pretty fast. And I'm like, wait, stop. And then this dog starts to run out towards the road. So if they hadn't stopped, they probably would have hit this dog. The guys in the truck, they were the owners of the dog and they didn't even know he was gone yet. They were just coming home and they didn't know that their dog had escaped. So it was amazing. It was like I had to do hardly nothing, but walk halfway down the street and greet the dog. It was nice that he came to me just as the truck stopped and I was able to get his collar and he was really sweet. But yeah, I thought that was amazing. And not that I as a person had anything to do with that fortune, but I just felt so glad that, you know, the dog was reunited with their owner, that he wasn't hit by his owner's truck. That just would have been so horrible to see. And after losing our dog just a few months ago, when Hopsy died, we just felt such pain that I couldn't have even imagined how much that would hurt. And so anyway, I'm just so grateful I get to spend time outside exploring all these cool different houses and yards around the Salt Lake Valley. I get to sometimes meet dogs. Most of the time the owners keep their dogs in. But oh, the dogs I've been meeting on my route are so sweet and cute and that's helping me heal a lot from the loss of Hops. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you that cool story about um, sort of getting to help save a dog. Um, so yeah, I'm just feeling super happy, even though there's a lot of doom and gloom out there. Um, you know, there's important things that do need to get out. There's also very just as important to not be so stuck on one belief or one idea that you can't relate to someone else. Give yourself some grace and give others some, just so that you can understand their perspectives, you can understand their language, you know. Um it matters a lot and we're going to have to learn, not just speaking one language as it were, you know, English, but we have to learn how to speak the nuance of these languages. And so I challenge you to listen to some different content creators that you may not agree with, but just try and get a sense of, the humanity that's still in them. So yeah, find some smaller channels. Just see, just let me know. Let me know if you have some people that you really like that are still really small. Because I think we do need to gather together. We need to support each other. And I'm still afraid to tell anybody in my live chats that I actually have a channel and do any of these videos, but I do hope to produce some stuff that's worthy of self promotion. So, anyway, thanks again for helping me just get my voice together and um, find honesty and find the people that can teach me to use, to hone these skills better. So I'm going to keep doing this work and working on myself. And yeah, I'll keep you posted. I'll try and do videos, if not every day, a couple times a week. So thank you. Please comment and like a video if you can, and watch some old ones. And a lot of my videos have some links in descriptions to other channels that I really like. But yeah, please let me know, what are you watching? What channel did I follow, or what other streaming services have content creators there? Because a lot of people are trying to leave YouTube, but the problem is if they were making any money on YouTube, there's nobody that can compete there with them. So if you're talking monetization and checking all the boxes, all the requirements, eh, some of these other sites, they just still can't hack it? So we'll have to figure out how to stay in touch. Um, but hopefully I'm not too on the radar even to get banned. But who knows? They might not like my curse words. So anyway, I apologize if you don't like cursing, but fuck it.